out there, and welcome to Brotaku Block. You're with Mighty Mauricio, Prince Petty, Gym Leader Brock, and Tiff Zilla. Today we're going to run through some anime, movies, games, and just general stuff we like. Hey guys, so how you doing today?
That was the weakest intro I've ever heard in my life.
Hey,
next up, we're just going to have Tiff Zilla do it. Tiff Zilla would have carried that with more energy than...
How you going to forget Jay? That man is an important, pivotal part of our team.
White man in the podcast.
Wait, Jay's not
no
intro.
It's cool. It doesn't matter. He's still a part of this.
Oh, true.
Wow.
Oh,
starting 2021 off strong, right?
Yeah, man.
Man, Denzel, you got to do it next time. Gym Leader Brock. We gave Maurice's light to shine.
I'll do it next time. I'll do a whole script.
So yeah, as Mauricio was saying, we have a fully packed episode. We're definitely not going to get through every single topic that we want to talk about, but we want to start off with a recap of what shows we actually watched in 2020, anime and just nerd wise, like Mandalorian. So, and this is going to be a very heavy spoiler episode if you haven't watched anything that we're talking about from 2020 because it's last year now. So fuck them.
This is the one warning.
What if I didn't finish anything?
Oof.
Well,
Munis and close your ears, son. You'll be okay. I mean, we can avoid it because we talked about Soul, and I haven't seen that yet. I mean, it just came out though, so.
I mean, it's been a week. You're still good.
I don't think there's
just
anything you can spoil for Soul, really, while you talk about it. I mean,
yeah.
So you're good.
We can spoil the message, I guess.
Yeah, they gave black people souls. Yeah.
About time. You know what's crazy is before this is how we should have started the podcast. Before you guys came on, me and Jake were just talking about how racist Dragon Ball used to be. It was just like that was the topic. So it's good that Soul gave us some credit, even if it wasn't an edition.
Gotta give us something in 2021 to look forward to, since we've been living years listening to Frieza talk about us monkeys.
Jesus, Denzel. But yeah, man, what shows you guys want to start off with, movies or anime? Because I'm fully loaded on the anime question.
Start with anime, so you
anime
can
recaps. I just finished. No, Jujutsu Kaisen just finished.
You're the only one who finished it. We started it, but I think me and Maurice got to episode 2. I got to episode 4 this morning, and Denzel hasn't started it.
Well, if you wait till 37, it really gets good, guys. Episode 37,
you're right.
It sounds like
it's wild. Like just stick it out till 37.
I trust you, Keith. So I'm gonna do this. I'm sorry, I used your government name. I trust you, Prince Petty. So
there's only 12 episodes out, but once you get to episode 37, it gets great.
Okay, I'm gonna, just because you said it, I'm gonna stick with it until episode 37. I believe.
At least make it to episode 5. I think that's where the face reveal is, and they blew their whole budget on that one scene.
Okay.
I would argue that one scene alone is better than the Black Clover high animation scene.
Wow.
Is that when you see not Kakashi?
Yes.
You sure? Okay.
Nice.
All right. I'm with it.
Yes.
Because so far, it's not bad so far. It's a shonen, supernatural.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely got its shonen tropes.
Yeah,
like,
it's got some Naruto vibes. He's possessed with something. They're in a high school, but not really a high school. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all right.
I will say,
I like that they're not trying to BS what his powers are. They're like, so this kid has heart, sure, but also he ate this finger, and that's why he's strong. And I'm okay with that. I'm not bullshitting.
In like episode 3, they go to Harajuku, and I was like, "Yo, we been there last year, Japan." It's like they showed Harajuku just to show Harajuku, and then they went in. Oh no, they were meeting the girl.
Yeah, they were supposed to go shopping, and then they ended up instead of going shopping and going to get food, they went to go exercise. Are they demons? I can't remember what they're actually called.
Curses. That's exactly what we did when we were in Japan. We were
You guys went
let's go
exercise
check out
curses?
Harajuku.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we went to go check out Harajuku, and we got there, and it was like, "Yo, this is neat." We ate some crepes, and then it was like, "Yo, there's a curse. We gotta handle it."
Nice.
Gotta do it for the.
I wasn't really sure if
Y'all
you were
don't
really
know
there
how
to
often we
exercise.
save the world.
Oh.
So they didn't buy any clothing?
I mean,
All right.
no, they didn't. They didn't buy any clothing. They did get food at some point.
Nah, they didn't make it to the Nike shop.
How you go all the way to Harajuku and not buy clothing? Did they play any Gwen Stefani in the episode?
They did not.
Wow. Wow.
They didn't make it to the Hello Kitty
Realize that
store.
was Nah, that I didn't
Okay.
realize that was such a big thing because I haven't been to Japan yet.
No,
I haven't been blessed.
They didn't make it to that dope shop with the cool jackets.
Well, see, like
Okay.
Gwen Stefani got a whole album after her trip to Japan, and she just like nutted on herself and started copying Japanese culture. So the album was good before I was like woke or whatever. But you know, I'm surprised they didn't make a hint towards it.
We could talk about since nobody's caught up on jujutsu. There's so many others. We could lead into like God of High School if we're gonna start off with the anime trope.
So I got to episode 2 last night.
Dear God, Tifron, this is a whole 2020 you just missed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at you. You're still reading
Look.
Naruto. Like,
Look.
Nope.
I can't be mad at you.
Next
Got
year is
him.
my year. Next year is my year.
What I
Like
did
2022?
was
Hold on. Actually, I definitely finished like 20, 30 anime this year. They're
Well,
just
which ones did you finish, Tifron? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they weren't from 2020. Like I was
I
catching
finished the
up.
2016 seasons finally.
Like I finished Dr. Stone, but that wasn't 2020, right?
No, unfortunately.
What's something
Yeah,
new
it was
that came out this
2019.
year that I enjoyed?
It ended.
Oh,
It ended
the
at
Trigger
the
one,
end of
Studio
2020.
Trigger. DNA. I finished that.
Oh, how
Oh,
you know
Brain
what?
Animal.
That's fair. I didn't finish that one. I got to episode I think 8 and I dropped off.
Brain Animal was dope. The
yeah,
animation was dope.
I mean, it was definitely like if you're a fan of Studio Trigger and like dating back to like the Gainax days, it's a Studio Trigger anime. Like pretty wacky, kind of Kill la Kill vibes, but it wasn't as
Yeah.
Well, it didn't go that far, but it was fun. No,
It's weird that we
Alien
got
saved the
we
day.
got DNA and Beastars all in the same year. So that's
I'm low key mad that everyone is like still riding B-Stars, and I was like, yo, if you really into animals, DNA is where it's at.
that sounds horrible. Tifron.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah. Quote
But
me.
yeah.
Quote me.
So, if you're really into animals, I'm just gonna let you know
Y'all
Beastars ain't
laughing
the
at me.
one.
I'm gonna attract a whole new demographic to our podcast.
Oh God, I don't know,
Bruh.
man. I'm
If you
accepting
really
of everybody.
animals.
Yeah. Maurice was the one that was really talking about it last episode. So
Listen,
Well,
B-Star is
DNA?
a masterpiece.
no, he's talking
Oh,
about
see?
the animal
Beastars.
thing.
Oh, B&A
Yeah.
was the one with the
The wolf.
what was the dude? Was he a
Yeah.
wolf too? That's a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude was a wolf.
I mean, fuck the police,
Yes.
but I like B&A.
Yeah.
A-Cab.
I mean, he wasn't really like he was a cop. He wasn't like a cop. He was like, I don't even like these dudes. I'm just doing this because trying to save these animals. Not I'm doing this because I was oppressed as a teenager and now I have a badge and a gun.
True.
And I mean, like Squirrel Girl was in it, or what was she? Was she a raccoon? I don't know.
He was
No.
Tanuki.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Same
what's
thing.
Tom Nook?
Same thing.
Tom Nook is a crook. First off,
He
Uh,
is
he's
a
a
swindler.
He's a
Tom Nook's
capitalist.
a raccoon, right?
So
he's a-
yeah,
he's a-
Tanuki
correct.
are raccoon dogs that aren't dogs or raccoons. It doesn't really make any sense to me. But yes.
So they're furries.
Yeah, so they're,
I mean-
they're Japanese raccoons.
But
Hmm.
see, when I say that, people get upset. Japanese raccoon. So I don't know. We gotta look it up. Come back next time with some research.
Okay.
We'll leave that one to you.
Don't call them Japanese raccoons.
Basically,
We don't want to offend the raccoons.
So B&A is a you need to watch. Is that a must watch for y'all then? Like if you haven't, because I never finished it. I got to episode 8. So
It's not for everybody.
it was good.
I think if you like anime, you'll like it. But you mean like when I say like anime, like really like anime, not just the popular stuff. Because like there's the folks
not
who,
shonens.
yeah. Like there's the folks who like I love anime, and all they watch is like the pretty things,
Dragon
like
Ball Z.
or the popular things.
Yeah.
But the
agree, it's
animation
definitely a
definitely
niche.
like it's not like ping pong the animation ugly, but it might not really be pretty to the average the casual viewer.
So the colors alone from that anime reminded me of One Punch Man season 1. Like when what's the name of the studio?
Really?
What's it called?
Hero.
Is that the name of the studio that did One Punch season 1? The same as Mob?
Is it Studio Hero?
No, we were just talking about it last night too.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the
Yeah,
studio.
it was
Madhouse.
America.
Is it Madhouse?
Madhouse?
We said Madhouse yesterday.
But yeah, so that studio, like the colors reminded me of something that they produced. The movement not so much, but I don't know. I didn't have any griefs or complaints with it. I just fell off because it started to get a little bit repetitive.
Who's your favorite studio?
Ghibli or Ghibli? No, I'm kidding. It's fucking joke.
You can't
Studio
I can't say that one.
It was a joke. I'm not gonna.
No, I don't mean like you literally can't say it like you pronounced it wrong. I mean like that's the go-to. You got besides Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli. It depends on which. Didn't I send you that video?
Besides,
like there was a whole 15 minutes of how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, and I still don't remember which is the right one.
Yeah, most people don't. I still don't. I can't remember. I think it was supposed to be Ghibli. That was right versus Ghibli.
Well, Ghibli definitely don't sound right, so I'm gonna say that much.
I just remember that the Italian way is how you say it, right? Not the Japanese way, because everyone assumes it's the I don't know. Anyway,
So what is it like?
my favorite studio is Production IG.
And what do they do?
Everything.
Yeah, everything. They Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. First they were the original Attack on Titan studio. Like they're known for like big budget crisp stuff.
I used to like Cash Money.
But I'm
As a
Cash
studio.
For the 99 2000?
taking over for the 9-9.
Yeah, that's what I used to. That was my favorite studio at one point. I don't really have a
guess,
favorite anime studio. I mean, I feel like I don't know enough about like the ones that I watch. Like before I started really deep diving into watching them, I wouldn't go and look back and be like, oh, who's producing this or who's doing that or that. Like I feel like that was like something I did recently.
Honestly, it's something that like only really hardcore folks are like into, and I don't even remember all the studios, but I only remember the ones that are known. Like they have specific styles. Like obviously Studio Ghibli, Ghibli. It's Trigger, formerly Gainax guys. Like they're known for like their anime usually looks a certain way, like Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, that stuff. Another one. Clamp. Shout out to Tiny Kitten. Like they're known for like they have a specific style most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So unless they have a
usually
specific style, I don't really care.
When I think of the studios, I never remember who does what, but when a new show comes out and I see what studio it is, I always go back to be like, oh, okay, this is what I expect this show's quality to be.
Yeah.
So that's something I kind of think about when a new show comes out.
Like I know
that was a good segue into DR art.
Oh yeah, the black-owned studio in Japan.
Oh, Dart.
Yeah.
Have they made anything yet?
They're working
the
on
Weekend's
something
music video.
Working on
than,
stuff, yeah.
Weekend
Yo.
video, yeah.
That was
Oh
beautiful.
yeah. Yeah. See, that was fun.
Yeah.
Because of that, I'm
So I
putting
might
hype.
be,
Also, as a black weeb myself, I would like to see what they come up with being in Japan.
So I liked it, but I did.
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm not like I don't want to be a hater because I'm definitely happy for them, and I hope like they continue to grow and do their thing. Like,
Same, but
I just hope
that's
they
not
get
it for
some
me. I don't
more.
know.
Yeah, I hope they just get some more money, like bigger budget to do the thing, because
Yeah,
it
was
doesn't look
lacking.
bad. It's just you can tell that like it was on the same par as like some really low budget anime. Like
Yep.
I don't want to say the frame rate, but like it looked choppy. But I don't expect
It looks like
I don't expect much from them because they're new. So
yeah.
but in the future,
I
I
can't
hope
remember
they
who
continue to grow.
animated Linkin Park's old video. Linkin Park had the anime video, and it was like that
took it way
was
back.
better compared to what we just watched. And that shouldn't have been a thing. Like, because I think they actually used a real studio. I just can't remember what studio that made that.
Wait, what anime was
Now
that?
you got me wondering.
Linkin Park, when they did their
video for.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the first one that I thought of when I was watching Weekends, like comparing it to another anime related music video. But I don't know, man. That one was lacking, and like what's it from said, not to sound like a hater, it just wasn't. It seemed like
start,
the anime that they would. Yeah, but it seemed like the anime that they would use in a music video for the weekend. That like, does that sound wrong?
No, that makes sense.
Dang. But he's a
So
starboard.
I'm hyped for them because I forgot the name of it. The show that came out last year. God.
Cannon Busters.
Yes.
I did not. I didn't like it.
Richard Method.
I didn't even finish it, and I finished everything, and I feel.
I tried. I really tried, and I was like, I think I got to episode 5, and I was like, this is trash. Because everyone was comparing it to Cowboy Bebop mixed with like something else or Trigun and something like that. And I was like, nah, man, this ain't it.
I didn't
I get it.
He tried to be Aragorn and it was too much. And Aragorn was a problem because he tried to do too much. The Dragon Book dude, Christopher Paolini, when he just like gave this guy every power in the universe, like he was Ichigo from Bleach. I couldn't stand Cannon Busters for that reason. It was like just pick something and follow it, but it was all over the place to me, and I don't know.
I tried. Everyone was like hype. That was like one of those super hype ones too, because everyone was like, "Oh, it's finally getting funded. This is gonna be a thing." And that was one of the things I went into with too high of expectations.
Like it's one of those things like that when they're just starting out, I know it can only be but like such quality, and I don't want to buy into the hype, like because the hype is mostly just because we're happy that one of us got a shot, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the most amazing thing ever. And I'm going to support it, but I also have a right not to feel it. And so I didn't rain on anybody's parade. When people were like hyping it up, I wasn't like, nah, it sucks. I just kept my mouth shut. But like secretly, I was like, I'm gonna cut this off.
No, I get that. Because, like, to your point, we want to be happy for the studio and everyone to be producing something of like POC, which is what we want, because we're not getting any of that anyway. So it's dope that we get to see it. But to your point, we shouldn't settle for like the minimum. Like it should be A grade from Jump. Like it should be amazing animation from Jump. It should be amazing story and plot from Jump.
One thing I noticed is like we do that a lot because we're so happy. It's like, yeah, this person made this comic book or whatever, and we're all like, cool, like we want to support it. And then the story is like ass. So it's like just because you can draw doesn't mean you can write, and like it's not firing on all cylinders. And I'm a support it just to support it sometimes, but also I want you to be the best you can be, the best version of it. And if you need to step your writing game up, you won't know unless I say it.
Right. So, I agree. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like we as a community need to be realistic and like vocal of like, yo, that was dope that you got the chance, you got the stage, it's awesome, we're all in. but what can we do to improve upon it for the next time you get a chance or the next season? Like maybe let's not do 4 different show types into one. Like maybe we should just pick a type. Like let's be the Cowboy Bebop. Let's not be Cowboy Bebop and Evangelion or something. Like let's not try to be 4 different shows in one.
Exactly.
Yeah, like just I think story. I know it kind of gets lost because when it comes to like anime, like the popular stuff is usually the most flashy. If I can't like, I do care about fight scenes and all that stuff, and it's got to have good graphics. But if that substance ain't there, like, I'm gonna forget about it.
I feel like over the years I've
We
become
have
more of a story over the fight scenes guy.
that's
So
usually what happens.
I think
Like
it's just like
the more skin you got in the game, or the more movies you watch, the more TV you watch, et cetera, like you start wanting more than just the stuff that pulls you in, like the flashiness pulls you in. But like the same thing
Yeah.
with like movies. I watch like 300-400 movies a year, and sometimes people get mad at me. It's like,
but you can't finish the season.
yeah, that's why I can't finish a season because I watch too many damn movies. Uh, well, I didn't watch anything this year, to be fair. But like in general, I watch a lot of movies. So like, if I have criticisms on something that's popular, people just think, Tifron, you don't like shit. And it's like, it's not that I don't like anything. It's, I just have broader horizons. I'm sorry.
Aliens. So that reminds me of the aliens. And this is a
Just
stretch.
doing Alien
But
Chat.
bear with me.
Is this another one of those like B-star things where you're like, yeah, I like wolves and also I like aliens?
No.
Yo, just let him go.
No, it
Just let him
reminded me
talk.
of
Let's see where this
Alice
goes.
in Borderland. Excuse me.
Alice in Borderlands? It's Borderlands, right?
Yeah. Borderland. Yeah. Alice in Borderland. Have y'all watched it yet?
That's like new though, right?
Yo, it was so good.
I watched it about 3
months
weeks ago. Yeah, it's been
Really?
for a little bit.
It's Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched it, which you haven't, everybody else has watched that thing. The best way I can describe it to you without spoiling it is you'll get a feel of
Right, you can
maybe
spoil it for me.
in the
I'll be honest,
beginning.
you guys are gonna mention the show, and I'm still gonna watch it. Like I don't mind if you guys talk about the spoilers for this one, unless Jake cares.
You care, Jake? Yeah. Okay. No, so you get like a good dance feel in the beginning once the action starts, and then I can't even tell you, man. It like switches completely, but in a good way. I haven't looked anything up on it, but I'm assuming it was from a manga or like a webtoon or something. But the story's great. Like it's great, and for it to be a live action anime type thing.
Yeah, it's based on.
I was really surprised. Oh, it is based on the
manga?
manga?
I just pulled it up now. It was originally released in 2014 and ran from October to February.
Dude, yeah.
October 2014 to February 2015.
Oh, good. So we'll get at least one more season. Well, yeah, they actually already announced it. They're doing a season 2.
Yeah, they announced it.
It's great. Like I really, really enjoyed it. It's been rare these days where I'll watch like 2 episodes of something and then keep watching and watch the 3rd and the 4th, and then come back and watch the 5th and the 6th. The next day.
Is it subtitled?
It's been a long time.
It has dub.
There's a Netflix dub, but you can watch it subtitled too if you.
Because I know I think somebody was watching it on their like Sonic Boombox did their thing the other night. And I think in the morning because they were doing that 24-hour stream, they were watching it, and I was watching like bits and pieces. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Dude, I watched it sub because I'm a purist, but it was great. It is really good. I don't want to. The story's kind of like the story's good, so I don't really want to spoil it for you. But I'm just gonna say it's good. Like you start off, you get some background on the friends. It's kind of building like a shonen thing, and then all of a sudden, everyone disappears on the world except for the 3 friends.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm already sold because I'm actually on one of the pages for the show, and they have 3 discs of the score, and I talked about this a little bit with Hinsel not too long ago about how like if the score brings like the score or like an OP or an ending like brings me into it, then I'm sold. The fact that they have all the songs and tracks listed that they use in the show, like you don't see that very often.
And it was a really good score. Yeah, like I really enjoyed it. And you're right, you don't see it often, where you can actually find the stuff easily.
Yeah, I agree. And I think another way of thinking about this show is that it's kind of like Saw, but like in an anime aspect. And I'm gonna say that just to like drop the gem of not saying too much of what the show is, but like if you think about how Saw and had puzzles, it's very puzzle heavy. So it was really dope that they did.
I instantly thought gore, and I was like, oh no.
That's a
No.
really good point. So when I was saying Gantz, I mean in the way where you're still in your world, like you're still on, in Gantz, they were still in Japan, but nobody knew they were there. No one could see them. So in this one, they kind of like pop up. They're still in Tokyo. Everything they know is still there except for the people. And then it's like Saw, like Henzel just said, where you have to figure things out in some situations you're put in. And usually it's a puzzle or like, well, it's always a puzzle. Even when it's like something physical, it's still a puzzle. You got to work it out on your own. But yeah, I won't say more because it'll mess the story up for you.
Yeah, it was great. So that's definitely I would say that more than like BNA. Like watch that because that's a binger.
So what did you guys actually finish for 2020 anime wise? Like, what was something that you finished that you put in the top tier list for the year for you?
So for me,
I don't know if this.
I watched Great Pretender on Netflix, and that's something that me and my friends Christian and Sam were talking about all second half of this past year, because
Christian's a great person.
Christian is a great person. Shout out to Christian.
Same trash.
But it's a detective show in a way. They're a bunch of scam artists, and they're trying to scam these rich and famous people for their money because they may have wronged someone in the past, or they're just evil individuals. So it's cool in the sense of like they're scam artists, so they're just taking money, and that's like kind of funny and hilarious. But also how they do it, and like the thought process and the planning is crazy. And yeah, just like it's a comedy, it's a detective-esque kind of show. And it's really fast paced, and there's like 4 or 5 different heists, so you can take breaks in between like when you want to watch it. So it's amazing. It's definitely top tier.
So I'm sitting here, right, and racking my brain, and I'm trying to remember, and I don't remember what I watched outside of what we talked about. We talked about BNA, Beastars.
You can use the
Borderlands
same
was live back then.
Doro. If you have one that like really stood out for you.
Dorohedoro. I did watch Dorohedoro. That was great. It was different. I don't know what you classify that as.
Yo,
it was ugly and fun.
Yeah, I like the first.
Like it?
I did. I like the story, but I still hate that animation.
It's weird.
Look, when you watch enough anime, you gotta learn to appreciate the ugly ones.
I don't know, man. I really liked the Jin for its story, and I hated the animation.
Oh well, I hated. Okay, no, I'll give you that because it was still like, even though it was 2D, like Ajin was like 3D. Like Netflix, that whatever studio that they use with that awkward CG animation, I hate it.
Gotta cut them.
But at least when they do that, like when they do a 2D one, it's not as noticeable. So I was fine with Dorohedoro, and like I like how ugly it is because it looks just like the manga, but you could tell it was still computer animated, even though it was 2D. So I feel you, but at least it, like, to me, I'm so happy it wasn't freaking I was gonna say Ajin, but the best one is or the worst one is freaking what's that one that came out before Ajin on Netflix? Knights of Sidonia. That is.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hold
that
up.
Was rough.
That story was immaculate.
Yeah, the story's good. The animation's trash.
Yeah. Like they had like 3 colors in the whole show.
But I'm excited for season 2. The story's immaculate. About time. That's all.
I think it works for
we already got a season 2.
Tifron's point, that does work with certain anime. So like High School Girl uses that same style, where it's like that weird mix of 2D.
You're
but
right.
It works for high school Girl shit. Can't say
it does.
To the point where I didn't even realize it did until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
That was a good show.
Yeah, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
I watched.
I guess they're still figuring.
Tower of God as well.
Oh, Tower of God. That's my favorite.
I'm gonna go
I'll say
ahead
first.
and tell you, I was about to be pissed off. Tower God was the most overhyped anime that I've watched in a couple of years now,
Ooh.
where the ending didn't match the hype. It started off strong, and I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And then I was like, "Really? This is it?" Same
It's
with
a
God of
hot
High
take.
School.
Yeah.
God of High School, I loved, but then
Oh.
like there was really the story was just like not there. Like they rushed it.
I didn't finish God of High School, so I can't comment on it. But
Fights are beautiful.
I will say, when it started out, like everybody was talking about it, and probably by week 3, I didn't hear anyone mention it for the rest of that season.
Yeah, I mean the same thing happened with
I see what you're saying.
Tower of God.
Nah, that was the opposite for me. No one talked because I started it when it came out, and then I fell off, and then at the very end, well, not the very end, but like the last 3 episodes, I rushed and caught back up, and then everybody, when everyone started, was like, or the big reveal or whatever, that's when everyone started talking about it, and more people jumped on. And I guess that's probably why it seemed overhyped, because everyone started talking about it at the same time. So if you jumped in at the end, what time? Like, at what point did you start watching?
I started it when it first came out because I was the one that was hyping the trailers when it came out because everyone was because Crunchyroll has a deal, so I was on it like that and got high school before they officially launched. I was going back and reading some of the chapters just to know what I was talking about. So I didn't like finish it, but I could not. I don't know, man. It wasn't it.
How far did you get when you were? I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect is. When you were reading, did you
So
get
I
to the
loved the
reveal?
beginning. Like, no, I didn't get. I stopped reading because I was like, all right, this is going to be worthy of me actually watching, right? So I didn't get to the reveal yet.
Okay.
So I probably read up to where episode 4, where they're battling in the weird cage tube things where they're trying to take the crown. That was where I stopped reading.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe just it just wasn't for you. I don't know. I really liked it though.
I mean, I'm not saying it was trash. I'm just saying it was overhyped. Like both of those animes were overhyped. Just like people are overhyping Noblesse right now too, and that's just really boring. I don't know. I tried it, didn't like it. Like it, and this is to my point. I'm not going to sit there and watch 37 episodes of something if I can't get into it within the first 2 or 3. Like,
look, man,
if
you
it doesn't
missing
draw
out.
me in,
Just give it 20 more episodes.
I want to do a Black Clover bridge just for you.
That's what I'm saying. When they do Black Clover Shippuden, I'm all in.
Actually, it's happening right now.
Anyway, Japan Sinks was pretty neat. Well, I guess I did watch.
Terrifying.
Yeah, like he was fucking with you the whole time. Yeah, I mean, without getting into spoiler territory, like that one was, it beats you up. But
Japan Sinks made it to my top 10 list of if I ever need to cry. Like, that's the anime I'll watch. Like, I'll put it on your line in April, but there's a slow build for that. Japan Sinks, I'll get an episode 2 or 3.
Every episode was rough. Especially, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah.
No way.
What else? I
Fire
to the party with Fire Force,
season
but
2.
Well, no, just Fire Force. Period. I didn't start it until this year, and I loved
How
it.
do you
I didn't
feel
even
about
realize that.
there it is.
I love it because Soul Eater was one of my favorites. It's still one of my favorite anime.
Okay, so I shit on Fire Force when it first came out.
You said you shitted on
it? I shit on a hardcore. Me and Denzel had the conversation when it first came out because I'm not a huge Soul Eater guy. Like I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there now. It's all right. Like my child likes Soul Eater, so
we'll go Christian.
I couldn't.
Why you say it like that?
Yeah, he likes but I could not get into Fire Force. Just reminded me of another basic ass trope anime or shonen, and it wasn't until the end of season 1 where I was like, all right, this might be a thing. Like once they started introducing the other squadrons.
Yeah.
Where I was like, all right, I'm sold. I like it. I'm not gonna shit on you anymore, Fire Force. You deserve it. It didn't take you 37 episodes, but I got you. I'm in.
I still haven't finished season 2 because it's been busy. I think I'm only made it to like episode 8 in season 2. But I'm still in love. I'm just busy.
We got black people. Shout out to that.
There's something else. I'm trying to go through my list here real quick. Oh, I was late to the party with Goblin Slayer. It's not amazing, but it's cool.
I like Goblin Slayer.
I was talking to Maurice about it. It was neat seeing an anime that came out recently that felt like it came out in like early 2000s, because anime got
Soft.
pretty. Don't say soft.
Can we clip that and save it?
Yeah. Anime got pretty soft.
We clipping that.
But yeah, it's gotten tame, and I'm not really complaining, because that would mean I'm just a pervert. But you don't see a lot of the stuff you used to see before, and it's probably for the better because it's getting more mainstream, and we get less weird looks now. I get it. But Goblin Slayer went like hard for no reason. I was like, dang. And it's not even like an amazing story. It was just violent as shit.
Hell
Choose
yeah.
violence.
Yeah, it was the type of like Anna Midnight violence, like back when they used to run some of those animes at I just said animes plural, I'm sorry. Anime at
Lord.
Midnight, the Action Channel, and like they would purposely pick like the violent ones. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. So that was kind of neat. And then they came out with the useless movie this year. I wasn't feeling that movie. It just felt like
I didn't
and
watch it.
just like a lot of anime movies are based on or from shows, they usually feel like just long episodes. This one felt like a long episode, and the first 30 minutes was completely unnecessary. So it wasn't. You didn't miss much.
So that was. Did I miss, you said so? Tower of God's going to be your pick for the year. That's like a must watch.
For me, yeah. Even though it's so not controversial, but it's a mixed bag. Like you got people who hate it, and you got people who love it. But that's probably my favorite new one of the year, and take that knowing that I didn't finish a whole lot.
Oh, I also liked Toilet Bowl Coon. So
Oh, the other Soul
What?
Eater.
Yeah, bro. Trust me, I don't know the name. It's been a while, but
I know what you're talking
so I
about. We
watched.
watched it together.
Yeah. It's like a toilet bowl spirit, and it's amazing. I promise I don't know the name, but it was fantastically hilarious to have like a toilet bowl demon and this little girl who wanted no parts of anything kind of explore exercising their
Hold
school
on, you said a
of other
girl,
demons. Yes, there's a little girl, there's a toilet bowl
little
demon
girl,
boy.
and a toilet bowl. What is this?
Hey, see, it sounds interesting, right? I'll get you the name in 1 second. But yeah,
No, that was a what is this like? I'm worried about you. Not a what is this like? Tell me more.
That was a great pick.
I'm gonna leave you there.
Little girl in the bathroom meets a person. Got it.
exactly. So, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is the name. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm not gonna say much more, but the animation is like
'Cause
childlike,
you'll get
but super
arrested.
dope. It is PG-ish. It is like definitely 17-year-old made, but
For poop guidance?
dope. Yeah, for all your sanitary needs. I
Gotcha.
wanted the Puella Magica Madoka
Oh shit!
like
You said it
spin-off
in
show
one
to be
go.
really good. Cause it's my show.
I totally forgot about it.
Is it a spinoff?
But yeah, it's based off of
Yeah.
a mobile game, I
Wait,
believe.
is it a spinoff or is it
and-
a like an alternate universe?
Alternate universe is a better way of putting it.
It's
Yeah.
like they went the Fate
Okay.
Stay route.
Yeah. So, because that's gonna be a spoiler, but anyway, I won't say it. So there's tie-ins from the
Thank
original
you.
show. That's all I'm gonna say. But they're yeah, I wanted to be really good. It wasn't bad. It was just like, more Puella. All right. Like it didn't have like its own like awesome aspect to it. So it's enjoyable, but I wouldn't highly recommend it unless you really love.
Oh, Baki. Forgot about Baki.
I forget about
I love
Baki.
Yo, I love hate Baki. You forgot about it too. I love hate Baki. Like it's bad, but it's like good, but fun. Like I hate. Like I was shitting on it the whole time.
That's a dude's anime, though. You know.
Then I
That's a
realized I
race
was
anime.
like, yeah, it 100% is. Like he's like in the anime. It's just a whole character. Anyway, like I was shitting on it, and then I realized I was like 20 episodes in, and I was like, well, I guess I'm here. I mean, I finished everything I watched, but like clearly I was enjoying it if I was
Except Cannon Buster.
if I watched it. Oh, Cannon Busters technically isn't an anime, but we're not going to get into that.
Just like it's only champagne if it's from Champagne, France.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
It's only
I
anime
mean,
if it's a
he's
Japanese
not wrong.
Yeah.
That, you know, somebody said that last night. That was a question that was posed in our chat last night. Was what's a anime out now that it's really popular that people don't consider an actual anime, or it's not actually an anime? And Avatar: The Last Airbender came up, but I completely forgot about Canon.
Yeah. Yep.
Straight facts.
Avatar is probably the best example. But yeah, Cannon Busters technically is an anime.
Is Steven Universe following that too?
Oh, I hate that show.
Yeah. That's
it's a cartoon though.
That cow
Wait.
art bullshit.
Isn't Steven Universe an actual, like, do people call Steven Universe an anime?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow,
Not.
that's news to me.
The last time I got into this fight with somebody on Facebook, it was they were saying Steven Universe was an anime.
Because they
If
saw
If you ever need proof, just watch their Food Wars spoof and you'll understand.
But I need to know why it's considered. Is it just because they do the tropes?
No, you have to just watch
You
the
can-
Food Wars spoof episode and then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
All right. Well,
I
if
wouldn't
that's the
even
case,
say they do
Gumball
the
is-
tropes, but you could just tell when like the I was gonna say filmmakers, the
they're
showrunners,
influenced.
like clearly have heavy anime influences, i.e. Avatar.
I
I
agree.
mean,
Gumball too, like you said, Gumball literally had like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto-esque
And
Kill
la
fight
Kill.
scenes.
To
Kill
be
la Kill.
fair,
Exactly.
yeah, but to be fair, with Gumball, that's part of the gimmick. Like Gumball uses and pulls
Gumball
from
parodies every
all
genre.
animation.
Yeah.
Like it literally has 4 different type of running at the same time in every episode. That's part of the what it is. But specifically, Avatar and Cannon Busters and shit like that.
that's just crazy. I've never heard that the Steven Universe be used before, like, as people arguing that that's like a legit anime. I didn't know that was a thing. I feel like I need to go look up Reddit
It's
shit now.
probably some
Don't
probably some
watch it,
tumble
Keith.
shit, to be honest.
Oh, I'm never gonna watch Steven. It's nothing against Steven. Like, I know for a fact that's not my style.
Missing out.
I don't know,
Well,
man.
You are missing out. I'm not a fan of Cal Arts, but there's a whole lot of not a whole lot of, but there's a few really good shows that just happen to be Cal Arts. Steven Universe, Craig the Creek.
Craig of the Creek.
Oh,
Oh, I love Craig.
Yeah. So I don't want to completely knock a show just because of the art style, because there's some good stuff.
I don't think it has anything to do with the art style. It's just I think Steven Universe, to me, Steven Universe is at not necessarily One Piece level as far as like it's already had so many seasons. I just know I'm not going to get into it to watch it to really understand the lore. Like, I'm not going to dedicate that much time. There's only
got you.
6?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not that
And
much.
they're
I think it's a
all
total
11
of
minutes.
like
Universe is only
it's
11 minutes.
probably like a
It's over 30 minutes.
120 11-minute episodes
Right.
all together.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not much.
That was why I didn't watch Adventure Time.
See,
Man,
now,
I can't watch
Time.
Steven Universe because of the fans.
Yeah, I heard the fan. I
I
mean,
believe
but
that.
it's
just
like
watch it
every
and not
fan
talk
base
about it. Yeah, every fan
Keep it in
base
your
at this
pocket.
point, like
There's no
I'm
fan
sure there's
base
somebody
worse than
who-
Rick and Morty though. Like Steven Universe can be bad and bad, but Rick and Morty fan base tops that by 1,000.
Star
I feel like
Wars.
they shut
That's-
up. We haven't really seen the Rick and Morty fan base in a while. Like they all died.
That's because the last
Bruh.
season was lackluster.
Mm.
Listen, a guy played Steven or cosplayed Steven from Steven Universe. A grown man with a hairy ass stomach had a gem in his belly button to be Steven, and he had like a little cut off midriff shirt on with his hairy ass like beer gut cosplaying
Yeah,
Steven. I
you
just wanted to kill
can't
myself.
you
He
can't
was living
cosplay
his
shame,
best
bro.
You would have been better off.
You
cosplaying.
run a whole cosplay group. You can't cosplay shame.
Hey man, fuck them motherfuckers, bro. I can't stand that shit.
You're an admin. What do you mean?
They don't
Oh
know
my
that.
We gonna have to throw this whole episode out. They about to cancel Maurice.
Nah, Keith, I love the chaos.
It is
Oh my God.
spicy.
Jesus.
No
Yo,
cost shade.
He
No
really
cost
makes Steven
shade.
Universe. No cost shade.
I love the chaos. Keep it.
Oh, God. Where was
Hey,
this
look,
interview?
you were talking about Baki
I left the
earlier.
group. I left the group in your hands, and this is what you do.
Maurice
Maurice.
came up today and said, "I choose violence." That's what
Hey.
that was his energy today.
Yo, he just drove this whole van off the cliff.
There's the
Hell
mighty
yeah.
Mauricio.
For those who don't know,
Quarantine got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Hey, but look,
Oh.
you were talking about Baki, and I want to say the whole time that shit is great because just like Goblin Slayer, it's well Baki is older, but you know Baki is from like the 80s, I think, or early 90s. But this new one is
yeah,
continuing the story, and it's straight violence, and it's all it's about. There's a little bit of story.
Like, here's the thing.
Violence.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just wish it was better animation quality. Like, I guess they knew the whole show is about fighting, so there's going to be a whole lot of fighting, and we can't afford this. So we're just like nothing. It's like kind of like think about what is it? Initial D. Like, in order for them to properly animate that show would have costed an insane amount of money. So what they did was there's a whole lot of still images, and like, or you just see it like the car isn't actually moving, just the picture of the car is moving across the screen. It's like that, just with fighting.
It's that Power Ranger.
And, like, I just
budget shit.
yeah, like they tried to do a whole lot on a small budget, and I respect them for it. I really wish I could see some of those fights in like full animation, because that one where he like ripped the dude's he like ripped a chunk out of his leg, and I was like, oh my God, like could you imagine that if it was like not live action but like full action and not just the still images?
But see,
That'd be
that's
insane.
it though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not that it wasn't done properly. It's that he's so fast and the frames are so fast that we couldn't see.
Shut up.
So we're all
Wow. Clearly, Maurice is on that mob psycho speed. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yo, he's
got
Maurice
that new
in
team.
3008. We're 2000 late.
Yup.
Hey
he's in a
man, I'm
different
just
year.
saying.
He's an ascended being.
Jesus.
So that's
I'm
the
trying
thing,
my-
though, they move so fast.
Moving right along though, fellas. I think we got through the.
That's the best. That's the best defense I've heard for Baki. So go ahead and watch Baki if you haven't.
I'll watch. I've seen season 1. I haven't seen the season 2 part yet. I need to watch that
There's
one.
more to see.
Yeah, I mean it's a Maurice anime, as I'm gonna dub it now.
Yeah.
The Mauricio.
It's the Maurice anime.
Yeah, and I mean it makes sense, especially if he only watches it for the fights. That's like 80% of the series. Like you're good.
I watch him for the
Maurice-
fights and for his his father, the ogre. His father's a fucking monster. Like not just fighting wise, like he's a terrible person.
Like, he's a horrible person.
The Mauricio special.
This dude's girlfriend was like. I'm not even gonna say
It
that.
shows
Moving on.
It shows that choose violence. Those are his specials.
Yes. Listen, man, Baki's dad had to fight this dude, right? And for absolutely no reason, he ripped this man's face off. He ripped his whole face off, knowing damn well he could beat him in a regular fight. But he was like, "No, I'm gonna go extra heinous." And he ripped his face off, and the dude was alive because it's just the skin. So he was like, "What the fuck?" talking and passed out, and I was like, "Yo, why, dog?"
I seen you rip a motherfucker's face off. I seen it.
I mean,
This
you gotta
man-
build your reputation.
This man went full John Travolta, Nicolas Cage on him.
Just the North Star shit.
Oh man.
But yeah, moving right along, fellas. Let's get into the. We've been talking about anime for the entire podcast now.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to topic 2, right? So,
What's topic 2?
Cyberpunk.
Movies? Oh.
Topic 2 is the Cyberpunk debunkle.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah, what do you have it for?
PS4 because I want to play on PS5.
Oh, you're the perfect person we need to talk to then, right? So, Cyberpunk on PC, obviously, everybody. Right? And are you playing a base PS4 or are you playing a Pro?
You're muted.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Hello. Sorry.
Is that bad? I'm at PS3.
It's funny that you say that. I bought it, and before I could open it, I saw how everybody was shitting on it, so I was like, I need to take this back. So it might be too. I don't know what's the return policy on GameStop. Do I have time?
Oh, I think it's 30 days, right? Wait, Jacoby, you know this.
Yeah,
Jacoby,
normally
you
it's
summon-
30 days. Normally it's 30 days.
I'm almost there. I need to go take it back. 'Cause
But
my
to be
plan was
fair,
take it- Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say they're gonna do the upgrades, and once you get a PS5, you'll get like the free upgrade kit or whatever.
Oh, I got the
Or half-
PS5.
Oh, well then yeah, I should. I mean, I don't know. It's supposed to function better on the new gen systems. It's still not going to be anywhere near PC because they didn't release the new gen game.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to run better than it does on base consoles. So
I
I made the
get it.
mistake of getting that game for both my brothers, not knowing that they had base consoles. Like I thought my little brother had like the whatever the Xbox X Elite or whatever the fuck it's called, Xbox XXX, because
Yeah.
Xbox Series X is the new one, right? That's what they're calling it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Series
Xbox.
X is the newest one.
Yeah, so whatever- Shut up. Whatever the elite version of the Xbox One was, like I thought he had that and he doesn't. He's running off base and he's like, yeah, it's a great story, but yeah, it does not look good. And I was like, damn. But like PC, like our boy JC's been playing it. He loves it and it looks beautiful on his. Like
See,
everything is rendered properly.
I was going to get it on PC, but I don't have a 3080, and well, I wanted to look the best possible if it's on my PC. So it's
Yeah.
going to be shitty. I'd rather just be on my PlayStation.
I mean, like, I'm gonna wait until they actually release the next gen game for it. Like, and when they do, you'll get the free upgrade anyway, so it'll be fine. But we were supposed to. We were promised the next gen titles for this game, and it just didn't happen. And that was something that they got a lot of heat for too. Was they released the PC versions out for review, but they did not release the console versions out. And reason behind that was because the console versions weren't ready.
And still aren't ready.
Yes. No matter how many patches they've done, people are still running into a lot of issues with that game.
Dude, I saw one where somebody was driving and it hadn't rendered yet, and then like all of a sudden a median appeared and they crashed their car.
Jesus.
It was like playing GTA 5 like right before it came out. Like 'cause GTA is not even that bad. It was like GTA before they finished it. That's how bad it looked.
The studios come under heat for doing something like this, but they were able to recover it from it last time. Like the Witcher game, when it launched, same shit. Same thing happened where there were so many glitches. It's like, and everybody loves that game now. Like, it's
Very true.
It's been what? Yeah. So it's like I feel like the same thing's gonna happen, but I think The Witcher, when it came out, the release, especially with how people are now, people are way more
Forgiving.
social media involved.
Oh.
Now people were way more forgiving back then. Now it's just like you fuck up, you fuck up. This one's a little bit different because now they're getting sued.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's my only thing I'm scared about is that it might set a precedent for studios now where it's like if you fumble the bag and you release the game too soon because everyone wants the game and you're trying to get it in before the quarter so you get some profits for it or something, like now there's a sense of like their whole PlayStation Store debacle of like it's not on PlayStation Store, they're offering refunds, so like you're not going to get the money that you expected up front, and now they're getting sued for it because of the bad launch and publicity for it. So it's like, does that set precedent for other studios and like how they set their timelines and setting their game releases? So
And wasn't the lawsuit a class action suit from investors, not customers?
yeah, it was from investors, which is like wild because I mean they want to make sure that they get the most money out of their profit, and the profit is the game. So
And I mean, like they still came out with what 13 million, even with refunds, right? That was what was reported.
yeah, which is a lot, but I guess no.
I mean, I don't know when was it. I'm trying to remember when they actually announced that this was a game. Was it? It was 2013, right? When they were like, "Yeah, it's going to be a thing." So how many years is that?
It's been a long ass time.
Yeah.
I don't know about 2013, but I know that I found out about it at least 3 years ago, maybe 4.
It was, oh my god, it was 2012. This game was announced in 2012.
Jesus.
Well, there you have it.
It's had hype for 8 years.
No. Sorry, I take that back. The game was the project for the game itself started, but it wasn't launched because it's based off of a role-playing game franchise that was started in 2012. When did they actually say that this was going to be a thing? Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Just want to make sure I don't fuck up the year for it.
No, you good. I was gonna say while you're looking that up. No.
Oh my god, no, I was right. It was 2012.
Oh, jeez.
Cyberpunk 2077 was announced in May 2012. Trailers for the game released January 2013 at E3.
That's wild.
The thing
That's crazy.
that I'm worried about. Well, I mean, Henzel kind of addressed this, but I'm worried that because the company, the studio, is getting sued by the investors, that it'll hurt the actual employees that didn't make the decision to rush it. They were probably telling their superiors, "Hey, we're not ready yet. We need more time. We need 3 more months. We need 6 more months." And then as always in any job, senior management was like, "Nah, we need to put this out now," and they didn't get to finish it on time. But I guarantee you, the actual people programming and designing knew they weren't ready and just couldn't say anything because there's NDAs they got to sign and they don't want to lose their job. And now they still might lose their job because the studio has to make up, their loss somewhere.
Well, the studio, they kind of already reported that everybody got paid and that they're good, and that they weren't going to punish any of the developers or anything like that. Because it's like at the end of the day, like that's over 9 years of them working on one title, and then they were working on old gen technology because they weren't. This game was expected to come out for Xbox One X, PS4, which is even more baffling that it looks as bad as it does on those consoles. Like obviously they weren't ready for the next gen, because they had already been developing it since fucking the GameCube was a thing. So it's just I don't know. It's weird. Like I see both sides.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good. What you just said is really good because that would suck. Could you imagine working on a title for 9 years and then the company rushes it and then you get fired because of that?
Yeah, and I mean it's just wild. Like so you're developing a game that's supposed to come out for the PS4 and the Xbox One, right? And because you took so long, right? The next gen is now a thing. Like Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. That's wild to me that you started at the beginning. When did the Xbox One X launch and PS4? What year was that?
That was like 6 years ago, I think.
That was
6-ish.
2013.
7 years ago.
So they were creating titles for those systems, right? And they took so long that the next generation of consoles came out.
Insane. Do you think will Cyberpunk play on the KFC console?
Kind of hoping. It'll probably play better than it does on the base PS1 or not PS1. That's what it looks like. Sorry, the base PS4 and base Xbox.
I mean, it's got 4K and 240 FPS, so you might do a little something.
I
And you
still
can
don't
eat your
think
chicken.
this is real.
Are you going to get one?
I'm so skeptical. I'm skeptical. I don't like. I've never seen. They haven't launched a pre-order date or anything like that. They've said what the specs are, right? Like it's got to be a joke, right? Like Nvidia is supposed to be like helping make this thing. This has got to be fake.
Got a 1 terabyte SSD.
It's got to be fake.
I'm gonna get it because I want to keep my chicken warm and crispy while I'm playing
I
Cyber.
would buy it for the. Shut up. You're not playing anything on that. Shut up. Especially not on Cyberpunk. I would buy it for the parody aspect just to have it if it does end up being a real thing. And watch the game, watch it actually work as a console and not as a chicken warmer.
I'd be so pissed.
That's legit what would happen. That's what's gonna happen. KFC is gonna launch a fucking actual console, and they're gonna miss the mark by what's originally promised with it.
Because at a minimum, to your point, I would just buy it and use it for the chicken warmer and use it as the gag. Like, hey, yo, look at my KFC console as I pull chicken out of it.
And then I'm gonna have to take that same chicken and go downstairs and put it in the air fryer because the KFC console didn't do what it was.
Don't fail me, KFC. I need this chicken warmer console.
Man, I'm telling you, I want all my games Kentucky Fried because it's going to be amazing.
But I mean, I don't even think I would put KFC in there. I'd put other chicken in there.
Ooh,
Like some Popeyes?
Yeah, Popeyes, Churches.
that'd be petty as hell. Put some Popeye's chicken in the KFC console.
Oh, I would do that and take a picture and post it instantly on Twitter.
Yo. Oh, that's terrible.
Using it how it's supposed to be used.
Oh, God.
Put a different chicken in it every day.
Tifron, you getting the KFC console?
Nah, it's gonna taste like chicken grease and salt.
But you'll be able to run Cyberpunk on there.
So it's gonna taste like chicken grease and salt, and it's gonna look ugly.
But there's ways to survive cons, man. You gotta stay hydrated. You know, you gotta actually eat. You need to go to bed at some
Use
point.
protection.
Wrap it up at all times. There's ways to survive cons. People just don't know how to do it anymore.
You gotta treat your staff right.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Damn! I see this segue coming.
So that's another good point. People need to survive cons, but cons need to survive the people. They got to survive their staff, and it seems like MAG is not surviving its staff right now, or at least not its board members.
Which is disappointing because that is one of my favorite conventions besides Dragon Con.
Facts. MagFest is literally one of maybe like 3 cons where I'm committed to making it every year. Like I actually like sit up and wait on the computer and pull up my phone and my tablet and use different browsers to make sure I can get through and get a room and get a badge. So I'm in that first, that first round of people to make a selection. So to see it dying like this is tragic, really. Like I don't know if the people planning it, whoever messed it up, whoever dropped the ball, I don't know if they understand how big of a deal MagFest really is to people. Like people travel from across the country and even from out of the country to come to MagFest. It's gotten that big, and I guess like 12, 13 years, however old it is. I don't think they really understood how big of a deal MagFest was. Like it fills the entire Gaylord Hotel. That's a big hotel convention center.
And for those of you
But
that don't know what it is, it's a music video game festival. It's a 24-hour, 5-day, 4 or 5 day party of just a collective of gamers and music lovers. Like you got from tabletop to PC to live action chess. Like you name it, there's something there for you. There's something there for everybody.
Dude, MagFest is so dope that I'll tell you. So, what hooked me in? My first time I ever went, I had been invited maybe 5 years prior to the first time I went, and just never got a chance to go. Didn't understand what the hype was. When I finally went, I was walking to I can't think of the name of the area, but basically between like 2 ballrooms on that like that second floor on the convention center side, I was walking past the ballrooms. And there was a hallway. And so I went down the hallway because I was curious. I was bored. I didn't really know anybody there. And I saw this laser light coming out of a doorway in this like access hall. And I was like, what is that? So I kept walking. And I get inside. There's just people milling about. Like, I don't really know what's going on yet. So finally I just asked somebody. I was like, hey, what is this room for? Because people were just standing around. And somebody was like, oh, dude, this band's about to play all the music to Mega Man as somebody plays Mega Man. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, just watch. So, dude, like, this band starts playing, and the guy starts playing and he's doing a speed run through Mega Man, and they play every sound and sound effect, but with live instruments. And I was just shook. It was like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Um, and it just was there. It wasn't on any schedule. It wasn't listed anywhere. It just happened. Um, and little random things like that kept happening the whole time I was there at MagFest. And then, of course, eventually I realized that you also go to MagFest to party, and well,
It's kind of mind blowing. And there was a picture that was shared from last year where everyone was huddled up, like just the convention itself. Like I haven't seen a scene like that since this whole
I just saw a meme that was talking about it, and like the last line of it was, we were laughing in God's face.
Not wrong, Tifron.
Post-COVID going to be crazy. That's all I'm going to say. Like, there's going to be so many precautions, and it's going to be
That's it. If it happens.
a germaphobe.
You know what? If I can go to a convention after this and not have to deal with the free hugs guy, then this pandemic was worth it.
Yep. You could always go to Florida and still get that.
Oh shit! No, maybe not the free hugs guy, but the dude who stands at the bottom of the escalator giving everybody high fives.
And
Like, that was
the
first time I wanted to fight somebody at a convention. Like, what are you doing? This is like global pandemic too. Like, and I wanted to fight him then. So now,
that was
you
your
gotta
first
shoot him at that
time.
point. The first time I went to an anime convention, and like
No, I mean,
there's
that was
somebody.
your first time wanting to fight somebody at a convention.
Yeah, it was when somebody was trying to give out high fives at the bottom of the escalator.
That's wild. I mean, we've had several incidents, especially Maurice.
Yeah,
Oh,
Of
yeah.
wanting to fight people at
Oh, yeah.
conventions.
Yeah.
Since
Go ahead.
since way back in the day, I have chosen violence every time I go to a convention because some people are fucking nasty, and they think it's funny.
Yeah. I remember this isn't even like convention Maurice. This is just Maurice because we were in line for was it The Last Jedi? Some Star Wars movie opening night. And it was a dude you can tell who only leaves the house for Star Wars movies because he had on some old sweatpants that were hanging off of his ass. Like his ass was out. Like his whole ass was out. Like his whole ass was outside. And he just let it happen. And like he didn't have on shoes. What'd you say?
What if he was cosplaying the Death Star? Like that could have just been his thing.
Yeah, and like we were Alderaan.
His ass cheeks were reaching God's air.
Oh God!
I tell you
Stop.
what.
Anyway, he didn't even have shoes on. He had flip flops on, and like he was a hobbit. He was a hobbit. He had hairy feet, and his nails weren't clipped, and his toenails were like on the ground, and his ass was out, and we can smell him from 20 feet away. And he was at the front of the line, and Maurice just started like, he wasn't like talking directly at him. He was just talking like into the atmosphere. Like, this motherfucker stinks. Like, the 30 minutes we were in line. And I regret nothing. Because I knew we heard him. Like, you knew what you looked like when you came out the house.
Listen, sometimes shaming is the best type of encouragement.
So yeah, the last MagFest. That might have been the very last MagFest, depending on what happens later on. 2019 could have been our last MagFest. And we all almost died because we all got super sick after that. And that was how COVID started, was MagFest 2019.
The Big Bang.
Yep.
I believe it, honestly.
No, I really do honestly believe that had to be like a strain of it. The amount of people that don't normally get sick and then like were deathly ill for like weeks afterwards.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Before like COVID was a diagnosis, like people that don't, like Jasmine, for instance, she don't get sick at cons, and she, like, everyone was prepared. We all have vitamin C, our stuff, and everything else. But like people that don't get sick were like in bed for 2 to 3 weeks.
That's a virus.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I'm
and that wasn't like con crud.
I'm gonna put y'all on game, man. You need to get, next time you go to, whenever, if and when cons ever start again, you need to get some Pedialyte Sparkling Rush. That stuff has kept me super healthy and happy for the last like 3 years at conventions. And I've been great. Like, I survived MagFest, I survived Dragon Con, New York Comic Con. Like, I don't know what it does, but it's keeping me alive.
My
Well,
rich
whatever
man
the
is
strand that was at 2019 was not your typical con crud strand, because we were all hyped up on vitamin C, taking the same stuff we always do, like to not get sick, high C, just high in general, all the shit.
Electrolytes.
Like Lola, everyone brought their own version of what they take, and we all took it collectively, like, you know, at separate spots and when we normally would, and every single person got sick that would never get sick. And it was like, I can't think of the last time I was sick like that from anything, not just a convention, but like Tina had to wash my bed sheets, I think 3 to 4 times that week because I was sweating through them like
That's so
rapidly.
nice of her.
Oh, Tina.
This isn't a shout out to Tina. This was a shout out to how
Hey,
I
you know
almost
what?
died.
Hey, I'm gonna say this is a shout out to Tina. She's doing a great job
She washed
taking
this
care of
man's
you.
bed sheets 3 to 4 times.
They were her bed sheets too. What do you mean?
She's more than a cosplayer.
She's multifaceted, and we appreciate her.
Okay.
Yeah, so MacFest probably dead in the water now.
So here's the thing with MacFest. It's, from what I've understand,
I think it's too big to die.
It's, well, I wouldn't say that one only because of the way they're doing it, but it is very possible for it to survive because enough people want it to survive that they may be able to pull it back together. But the people that have quit, like the board or whatever, or planning staff, are super integral parts of MagFest. Like, if they don't come back with the files and information that they have and the connections they've made, they won't be able to come back next year at the same capacity they were last year. You know, people in charge of like musical guests have left, people that ran the arcade have left, and not just like managing the arcade, but supplying the machines. Like, so I don't know, like, for instance, like the arcade, I don't know where you would find another huge supplier for arcade cabinets and for all the consoles and all the TVs, let alone the people that were managing it. And I don't mean just volunteers, but I mean like actual like people in charge of it that supervise the volunteers. You know, people that they were, you know, working with the hotel to set up the contracts and stuff. All those type of people left. So I don't know what they could really do unless those people come back. And yeah, anybody can do a job, but they're gonna need those people that have all that information to come back and at least like do a turnover and pass it on. Because if they don't, I don't know. You can still have MagFest. I'm sure the Gaylord will make it work with whoever takes over, but you may not have all the content and all the stuff to do.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they are volunteers. So, I mean, some of them are paid, some of them aren't. But the ones that aren't paid, you're asking someone to do a huge job for free. So it's hard to replace the experience and the expertise that it took for them to do it year over year over year, and the guidance that they were giving other people.
Yeah, for real. I can tell you, as from like way back in the day, from like volunteering as like a young weeb, all the way to like being a slightly like more integral part of a convention, it's not easy. Like, even down to just like being on the floor for hours at a time, and then especially when you're in charge of something and you have to keep your eyes on it so it doesn't fall to pieces. That's rough. And to do it for free, you either gotta like be there, you know, to make people happy and see the outcome and the result, or you get paid. Because like, I don't really know if there's an in between. You're either doing it from the heart or you're doing it because you're getting money. I don't really know what else you would do it for because it's rough. It's worse than being at a regular job.
Yeah, and we're lucky to have, you know, people on our podcast that have been a part of cons from, you know, initiation to activation. So we all know, well, y'all more than me, but you all know what it takes to get a con going and all the things that it takes to make it successful and for people to enjoy it, and, you know, what you have to bring time in and time out to.
And I guess.
What'd you say?
What?
Oh, I said, man, I guess.
All right, see, that's exactly what I mean. That man, I guess, that's what I'm talking about. Because once you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
I totally get the people at MagFest quitting because, like,
I get it.
you're getting all this bullshit, and then they want you to come back and do that shit for free. Like, nah, kiss my ass. I was doing it because I enjoyed it, and now you're making
Yeah.
it. Like,
It's
don't
like
make.
they'll take advantage of your your love for community. You trying to do something good and work your last fucking nerve. And then that's just the folks you're working with. Not even the people, the attendees who don't like know or care like what all goes into it. And like there's folks who try to tear the whole thing apart just because they bored at home. And they don't even go to the damn convention.
Or
Remember
ugly
that?
or
Right.
broke and can't get there.
You know what? Let's change the subject because we
we get too deep into the
Get too spicy.
yeah.
oh man, let's
Hotter than sriracha.
so
Well, look, let's keep the spice going though, and switch over to movies if y'all are ready, because I want to talk.
Go ahead, let's do it.
okay. Do we want to jump straight into Wonder Woman? Or we want to talk about like our favorites, our worst, or whatever.
That's what
Let's-
Prince Teddy.
Let's do Wonder Woman
uh,
first, and then we can go into our favorites or potential coming up in 2021.
Okay.
All right, everybody that liked it, say aye. Aye.
I'm gonna say aye. I
It
gave
wasn't bad.
like it was decent, but I also understand why people hated it. I liked it, but also understand why people hated it, and I also didn't love it, but I get it. Like
It's very cryptic. I agree. I'm very
it's not like is it cryptic?
kind of because you're like I liked it, but like it wasn't great, but like
no,
it was
well,
cool, but like it's kind of all right.
Okay,
but,
I
like,
said too much. I'm just what I mean is like I liked it, but I can see why people didn't like it. There we go. Like
yeah. It wasn't as good as the first one for sure. in my
that's for
opinion.
sure. That's for sure.
And it's definitely middle of the pack. You think about comic
Yeah.
book movies, so like a 6 or 7 out of 10, just to kind of be like generic rating wise. Like
There's
it wasn't. Go ahead.
It felt like old comic book movies to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes when they do that, it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Like X-Men Apocalypse felt like an old comic book movie, like a pre Iron Man, pre Batman Begins, yeah, all that stuff, like early 2000s comic book movie where you have a comic book character, a simple story, you throw it out there, some stuff happens, and you go home, and that's the end of it, right? Like X-Men Apocalypse. My issue with that one, it was, hey, here's the threat. Hey, let's go fight the threat. End of the movie, like that was it. You can't really get away with that anymore. But like Wonder Woman, it was more to it than that. But it like the level of like, I appreciated how comic booky it felt, but sometimes it like went like the cheese level went past comic book and into like CW melodrama cheese, and it was a bit much. I get it.
All right, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I can't believe I have to do it. I'm gonna defend it a little bit. So going off what you said about it being like an old style comic book movie, I have to say that I liked that about it, and that's what made me like the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
It didn't take itself too serious, and it kept it fun. It didn't have a Snyder color palette.
Yeah, you can tell that they did that on purpose, because my biggest thing with the last one is, even though it was good, it felt like a Zack Snyder movie. Even color wise, it was just dark. This one was really colorful, and I liked that.
I think it hit a lot of good points. Basically, okay, the easiest way for me to explain it is I'm just gonna say like the things I picked up that I liked and didn't like, and I don't know. You guys can agree if you feel the same way or not. But the whole first scene, like I kind of get it on a deeper level, but also I didn't need it. I liked that even though she didn't need to have a Stephen Trevor story, I like that it lets you get some of her growth that you don't get to see, because if you think about it, you have Wonder Woman, the first movie, and you see her leaving the island and learning about, our world. And then she's in what? Batman versus Superman, and then Justice League. You don't really get to see Wonder Woman like develop at all.
Yeah.
So this is us getting a chance to see her grow as a person, and then also as a hero.
Yeah.
So that's why I can excuse Steve and Trevor being there, because otherwise the title's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I can get that.
I feel that.
And then Cheetah, like, I didn't hate Cheetah, and I'm not even talking about the costume. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
I admittedly don't know Cheetah's backstory, so I don't know exactly how she gets her powers in the comic books. But movie-wise, I wasn't upset with it. I mean, okay, this, most people listening to this are probably a little bit nerdy, so some of you might get it. What's her name? Barbara Minerva. She shows up. She's nerdy. She's so nerdy that she's too nerdy for other nerds at her job. They work in a museum. These are all nerds, and she's too nerdy for them.
Like, all y'all playing with fossils and shit. Like,
right. They're all fucking nerds, bro. They're archaeologists and gemologists and all this type of shit. Everybody with an "if" on the end of their name, they're a nerd. She walks in there and she's too nerdy for them. And then walks in freaking Diana Prince, standing like 5'11" with 4-inch stilettos on. So now she's like 6 something, looking pretty, dressed well, like with a little accent going on. She knows your job and hers and speaks Latin. Like, of course she was gonna be jealous. So it made sense for her to make that wish, and I wasn't upset with it. What was weird to me was, actually no, take that back. It wasn't weird. Her second wish that wasn't really her wish, that he just like gives her, I guess, because you can only get one wish, and I don't think the rules change even if the vessel changes. Like, if the wishing stones vessel becomes something else, I don't think that you get another wish for it. So I guess that was just him using his power for her. But
or he might have used somebody else's wish on her.
He might have, yeah. Or I don't know. There's all kind of loopholes. Maybe she became a new person because of her wish to become more like Diana. That was weird to me. That wish I thought was kind of strange, and I get it. It makes sense, because when she made her wish to become more like Diana, she lost her innocence or whatever, the things that made her her. So when she made her second wish to become an apex predator, it sounded weird, because I was like, "Why? You already got super strength. Like, this isn't. You're not doing anything but becoming a cheetah person.
Right.
This is weird."
It kind of made sense to me, because we really about to spoil some stuff, I guess.
It's fine.
Let it loose.
Homeboy was like, because he started to get corrupted, right? And he was like, I want more, just like Ronald fucking Reagan.
Oh my gosh, what a comparison.
Just Ronald Reagan. No, well, he literally said it, like that was his like he just wants like more. That's what he took from him when he took Reagan's wish. Reagan like treasured his power and his stance and everything. And after that, that's when he was just like more. And she kind of did the same thing. Like, yeah, I'm cool, but I want to be cooler. Like,
that makes sense.
I get it.
That does make sense. And then speaking of Maxwell Lord, I liked Pedro Pascal's acting, and I liked the way that he, portrayed the character. But this is one where I have to agree with the masses. I don't get his end game. Like, he wanted to be able to fix his initial problems. Like, he was losing money. He was a failure. Okay, that's fine. He wanted the wishing stone. But then it turned into like world domination. And
I think that just goes back into the corruption thing. Like, he started one way, and then he just couldn't, like, he just kept wanting more.
Well, he also had to heal himself too, and the only way to do that was to take from everybody else to continue.
But yeah, at some point he was like, I need your life force or something like that.
Yeah, he needed organs back because he was losing everything from granting so many wishes.
And he had to use other people's wishes to grant other wishes too,
so like
transfer of power.
It's like he was going in debt.
Yeah, he really was. It was body debt. I will say I'm not like the biggest. I like Wonder Woman. I'm not like a huge Wonder Woman stan. Like, I don't read enough of her material to really know the characters like that. But Tina is Viva is like a huge Wonder Woman fucking fangirl. Her biggest complaint with this movie was how it ended, because in the comics, the ending that we got in Man of Steel, where Superman straight up, kills Zod, that's the ending that Wonder Woman should have had with Maxwell Lord, because that's how it's portrayed in the comics.
Oh.
And she thought that's what was going to happen, when he's doing that, and instead she fucking Naruto's her way out of that shit and, talks everybody down.
I wasn't talking to you.
Fights.
I was talking
Yeah.
to everybody else.
Yeah, like that was some protagonist bullshit. But yeah, that should have been her scene to do that. But I felt like Patty Jenkins, instead of going that route, because DC's already been portrayed as dark and brooding and violent,
Which is awesome.
for whatever reason she chose to go the other route. Yeah, exactly. I like that it has that going for itself. Like you own it at this point.
I love that DC chose violence every movie.
Yeah. I just don't understand why I guess Wonder Woman's supposed to be their light and their hope and all that stuff, but Wonder Woman herself is not that bitch. Wonder Woman kills every villain she has. Like,
She's just fucking horrible.
anytime she's had a problem, she doesn't fucking Joker that
Yo.
shit. Lex Luger that shit. She kills people. Like,
She too
if
strong
you
to
have a
know actual people.
problem. Yeah, exactly. And that's always been how she's portrayed in the comics. She's not like Clark. She's not like Bruce. Like you're in my way.
That is a very good point, because
Wow.
I honestly I had forgotten that's why I liked Wonder Woman so much, that she ain't got time for bullshit. Like, she's not letting the Joker live like Batman. She's not letting Lex Luthor live like Superman does. Like, she will fucking kill you. Like, she ain't got the time. I actually forgotten that's why I like her so much. And now that does make me kind of wish they had done it differently. Except I will say I kind of get Patty Jenkins not wanting to go that direction because of the rest of the movies. And they kind of, I don't know who necessarily wrote this part, but they wrote themselves into a hole, I think, by making him become the vessel for the wishing stone.
Yeah.
Because killing him might not have nullified the wishes.
We don't know that. But they
And-
could have fucking written it in. Like,
Well, they said that it was two options: either kill him or
Yeah.
well, because we don't know. Or are you saying it was either destroy the wishing stone or them undo their wishes? But we don't know necessarily that killing him would destroy the wishing stone, even though he was the wishing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because what I'm getting at
Okay.
is, so by Wonder Woman being, the oldest person probably, well, at least in her movie, alive,
Yeah.
and coming from that background where she has all the information on the gods, they don't say it, but it's kind of, I forgot, there's a special phrase for this where things are implied, but to me it was kind of implied that by her being like a 3,000-year-old woman from ancient Greece, she knew that killing him may not nullify the spell that whatever god put. Oh, they said the god. I forgot now. But it wouldn't nullify the magic that it was put on the wishing stone. That there was a chance that it would stop further wishes, but it wouldn't stop anything that
It
had
wouldn't.
already started.
Undo it. I got you.
Exactly. And that was a problem, because she literally had like another man's body being used as a host body for Stephen Trevor, because she made her wish the wrong way. And then, Maxwell Lord had caused all these nukes and stuff to take off. Like, it was a lot to risk by just killing him and then not being able to get the wishes reversed.
I see that, but I mean, they also could have just killed him and everything reset.
Well, that's what I mean. Hopefully it will reset, because I think she knew, like, or she didn't know is the problem. She didn't know if it would reset, and she was like, just in case it doesn't reset, let's try to get.
Let me use my words. Yes.
Fuck no jutsu.
Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to a fucking flashback with the swing on a log.
Oh God.
Like, that's. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I really enjoyed Wonder Woman 1, right? It's the origin story. It's the basis. It reminded me a lot of the first Avenger, which I also enjoyed. A lot of people shit on that movie. But this was her spotlight to kind of like go into the more comic book character, and I think what they've done is they've mixed up Superman and Wonder Woman's characters. So
Yes.
Superman being this, like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck up Zod and just kill him, snap his neck, that's it. I ain't gotta worry about this fool no more. That's how Wonder Woman should be portrayed now. And it's like, I get Patty Jenkins' perspective as far as like the whole female empowerment, like there's more than one way, like she should be little girl's beacon of hope. But that's like, and Wonder Woman can still remain that, but she can also be a fucking ruthless bitch. So I feel like they missed the mark on 1984.
Yeah,
Not
overall they
just
definitely missed it.
black people, but you know.
I would say they definitely missed it overall. I just don't hate it. Like
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either.
I've
I didn't
watched
hate
it
it.
twice. Like I liked it. I would hope they do it again, do another Wonder Woman movie, and hopefully listen to the fans.
Oh,
and
it's already been
fix it
signed.
again. Oh, it is?
Yeah, the third one's already a thing. They're already working on it.
Nice.
It's already been greenlit, I guess. But like, I don't know. I can see the. It's like it was to me it reminded me of a love letter to who's the dude that wrote the Superman movie in 1979?
I forgot. But I know you're
Yeah, it was like a love letter to him and Christopher Reeves because it reminded me of like it had the campiness and the Beacon of Hope style of that film, of the original Superman trilogy, or 1 and 2. We don't really talk about 3, 4. But it was Wonder Woman. Like it just, I don't know. To me, it didn't fit her character as well. Like I get it, and it was, I don't know. It was giving me some fucking Avengers vibes with the campiness.
yeah.
I like the memes that came out of it, like the DC scene and how there was no black people.
Bruh, 1984 DC, Chocolate City, but it was Matt Vanilla.
Oh no!
A week.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Superman,
let's,
1979 or 1978, and it was Richard Donner. My bad. A tribute to Richard Donner is what it felt like.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go
Right.
ahead and say what you were gonna say. My bad, Tipzilla.
I was just saying, just to wrap it up, like what are our favorite movies of the year? Even though a lot of it didn't get to come out.
I really like
Me?
Onward.
You like the Onward?
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. Yo, real talk.
I'll-
No, I ain't no shame in my game. I cried a little at the end. Yo, that got me.
There's
That
like
got me.
3 or 4
I
points
teared
where
up.
you could have cried in that movie. It was really good.
Yeah, but the end really got me, and like nobody really hyped it up, so I thought it was gonna be like, whatever. And I just happened to watch it the other day, and I was like, yo, and I was by myself. I was, woo.
The end
Yeah.
had that thing where it was like a moment happened and you're like, you could have cried there, but if you hung tight, you're like, oh, I'm good. And then immediately after it hit you with the bam,
Yep,
and it was
yep.
like you're crying now.
I didn't relate to the beginning of the movie, but the end of the movie I completely related to.
Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned Onward.
All shit's on Onward, guys.
I haven't seen anyone shit on it, but I didn't see
No,
anybody really.
No, I'm saying Soul shit on it. Like Soul
Oh,
was
I haven't
better
seen
than
Soul
Onward.
I
Oh,
haven't watched
Soul. Not gonna spoil anything, but I loved Soul.
Soul
Yeah,
was good.
there's an issue with the trope of in animated movies. There's always some transformation for the
Right,
the
black
main
guy
character
can't
is
be
black.
throughout the
They
whole
gave black
hour
people
period.
souls.
Yeah.
But
Isn't Maurice in the movie?
yeah.
Nah.
It was just really good to see like good representation. Like outside of that trope, yeah. In the future, I hope they do better. But outside that trope, it had really, really well done representation. Somebody pointed out that in the credits you see that they had like they spoke with I forgot what's the word, but they had people to help guide them to do the right thing, and like this should
They
look
brought
like
in
this.
consultants.
Consultants, that's the word. Thank you. They had cultural consultants to help them get it right. And even though it's another transformation movie,
I mean, it's nice to see Scarlett Johansson still working.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
That would have been funny, but like Jamie Foxx killed that role, so I don't know.
Yeah. When you get a sec, it's only 90 minutes. Give it a watch.
I'm gonna watch it tonight if Tina lets me.
Okay, good. Tina, please let him. I was really happy with it. And then like my thing with it is it's not really for kids. Like I don't know if kids are gonna like it because the message is 100% like an adult thing.
Right.
it's
and
super grown.
There was no like
Yeah.
kid gags in it. Like there was no like like moments in the movie where I thought like my niece would laugh.
Yeah. So like the kiddies, I don't know if they'll feel it. They're outside of just liking like cute and colorful.
The colors and things
But
like that.
Did
like,
Little Tiff like it?
He's too young to pay attention to things. But like we watched it Christmas night, and like all the family that did watch it, they were really into it. It's like, wow, that's can't believe that they got that deep. But yeah, that's pretty good. But let's see. So we got Onward. So my favorite's Tenet, and man, you know how hard it was to avoid spoilers for Tenet because I refused to go see it in theaters.
I still haven't been spoiled yet, so I'm gonna take my heavies.
No. I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
I haven't seen it yet.
If you came over today or if you had free time, we could have watched it. But I waited until I could buy the
I wasn't
4K.
invited.
You say you weren't invited? I assumed everybody was invited. Now you're making me feel. Anyway, I will talk about.
You about to watch
later,
Soul, you fine.
I was really, I really love Tenet. It's not my favorite Nolan, but it was pretty solid. And I see a lot of people complain about either it's boring or they couldn't follow it, but I thought it was pretty straightforward, and they gave you clues, so maybe just give it a second watch. But it was fun. Maurice, what's your favorite?
Who?
What?
Yeah, Maurice, who's your favorite cosplayer this year?
Oh, this is Mighty Mauricio. I don't. You say my favorite cosplayer? Favorite movie? Man, honestly, I can't remember what I watched this year because of coronavirus. So probably.
Good answer.
So what?
He said good answer.
Yeah, I can't remember anything because I didn't get to go to the movie theater this year, so everything was underwhelming on TV. Like Tenet was really good because I got to watch it recently, but anything before that, I can't remember what I watched. It's weird.
I'm with you. I think for me to, think across all the movies I've seen this year, because I saw a lot of like one-off movies here and there on Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. I think the only one that comes to mind, I haven't seen Tenet yet, is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom because of the amazing performance that Chadwick did. It was a phenomenal movie.
I keep hearing that's really good.
It's definitely like a play-esque type of movie. There's only
It's
maybe
based on a
like
play.
yeah, like, and it shows like it's only like 4 or 5 actual scenery scenes that the movie takes place in. It's like maybe 70 minutes long. It's not long, and it goes from A to Z. Like I'm thinking this is like such a great like southern musical like happy-go-lucky movie, and then like the last half of the movie happens and I'm like, yo, what is happening? This dialogue is crazy. Like it does a 360 on you a little bit. So it was incredible. Like I'm gonna watch it again because that man killed that performance.
Awesome.
Don't sleep on the Sonic movie, boys. The Sonic movie.
I saw it in
That
theaters. It
was
was
this
good.
year, wasn't it? That was this year.
Right.
It was this year.
And it was
Yeah, it's just that
was so
it was
weird.
pre-quarantine, so it feels like
Right,
not
forever
this
ago.
year.
It was in February.
Jeez.
Oh crap! All right, well,
That doesn't, like, I'm trying to remember now. Like after he said Sonic, like Sonic really was great.
Birds of Prey came out earlier this year too.
it did.
Yeah, the three biggest movies according to Letterboxd for this year: Tenet, Birds of Prey, and I think Soul was the other one. But yeah, not a whole lot came out because a lot got pushed back. But yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Coronavirus really got me fucked up out here because I forgot Sonic and Birds of Prey were this year.
Yeah. Actually, finally saw Birds of Prey the other night, and I really liked it. It was fun. That's what I like out of comic book movies, is to have fun. It's pretty goofy, especially because that's on brand for Harley Quinn. The folks who like hated it, and I mean like hated, like they talked about it as if like it killed their puppy. I don't know what to say to them. I mean, I do know
They
what to
hate
say
women.
to them. Like, yeah. It's this. It wasn't like the whole backlash for that whole movie was uncalled for. Like if you didn't like it, all right, but like hated.
I didn't hate it, but my biggest complaint was it should have just been a Harley Quinn movie. Like, don't even really.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. I feel it because they even went back and changed the title after the fact. Because it was Birds of Prey, and then it was Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of the Harley Quinn or whatever. I get that.
Yeah.
There were folks out there who were acting like, so yeah.
And I guess to mention one last movie, Bad Boys came out this year.
Oh yeah.
Corona.
I
See, Corona.
love that they waited. They waited until they felt the script was right, and I love that they brought back a lot of the gags from the first two movies.
Yeah, Bad Boys killed it.
It really felt like, I don't know. It was a good ending for Mike Lowry. I can't remember Martin Lawrence's character's name. Holy shit. Anyway, it was a good ending for the franchise.
And a good beginning for hopefully a spinoff.
Yeah, they left room for a spinoff. We'll see if that happens or not, but we'll see. Sure, why not? As long as it's fun. Is that about it?
Yeah, I think we actually covered a lot of what we wanted to. So we can say whatever's left for next episode. What are you guys looking forward to in the time between?
Picking up my son.
Ending this current episode, everybody.
Well, yeah, we'll just have to pick up next time with some. We'll have more insight on what anime happens this year. It should start by then, or around then, and more news and gaming industry stuff. So yeah.
All right. Well, all right, guys. Sound off and give your social media where everybody can find you.
Yeah, man. So Brotaku Block is going to be featured all over Brotastic Nerdum's stuff, but you can catch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio,